Hello students, in my last video, I explained about atomic structure. Today we will discuss about chemical bonding. Now what are chemical bonds? The linkage or force which acts between two or more atoms to hold them together as a stable molecule. That means two atoms are combining together to form a bond that is called chemical bond. Two atoms are combining together when they will form compound. One linkage is there, one bond is there in between them, that is called chemical bond. Now, why do atoms combine? What is the reason behind it? Atoms combine to attain stability by satisfying octet or duplet configuration. Atoms combine, I repeat, atoms combined to attain stability by satisfying octet or duplet configuration. In my last video, I told about what is octet, what is duplet. Octet means the outermost cell contains 8 electrons. If the outermost cell of an atom will contain 8 electrons, it will be its most stable configuration. Same as if the outermost cell contains 2 electrons, for that atom, the atom will be more stable. Now this combination can happen by transfer of electron or by sharing of electrons. There are two types of chemical bond, generally electrovalent bonds and covalent bonds. One more is there, that is known as coordinate bond, but in our syllabus we have only electrovalent bond and covalent bond. Now, what are electrovalent bonds? Before that, I have to say one thing, that generally metals lose electrons. Why? In periodic, when I taught periodic table, I said that when we are moving down a group, the IP value will decrease. What is IP value? IP value is the energy required to remove one electron from its outermost cell. So as we are going down, the distance between the nucleus, due to the large atomic size, the distance between the nucleus and the outermost cell will increase. So what will happen? It will be more easy to get the electron. It will be more easy to remove the last cell electron. For that, metals lose electrons, and after losing electron, they will form cation. You can see X. I have written X over here as metal, which is losing one electron to form X plus 1 cation, whereas non-metals gain electrons. So Y is the non-metal, is gaining one electron to form Y minus anion. Now this X plus, that is cation, will combine with the anion Y minus to form a compound XY. That's why electrovalent bonds often known as ionic bonds. Due to combination of these ions, we are getting the compound. That's why it is known as ionic bonds also. Now what is the definition? The chemical bond which formed between two atoms by transfer of one or more electron. Okay, transfer, maybe they can lose electron, they can gain electrons. What is the electrovalency? The number of electrons donated or accepted by the valence cell of the atom are known as electrovalency. One more thing, important one, that's we can say metals are going for oxidation. See, losing of electron means, I said oxidation. So metals are going for oxidation, so they can reduce the other. So we can say that metals are good reducing agent, whereas that non-metals are gaining electrons. Gaining electrons means reduction, so non-metals are going for reduction, so they can oxidize the others. That's why non-metals are good reducing agent. This is a give reason type question, why metals are good reducing agents and why that non-metals are good oxidizing agent. Next, let us do some electronic configuration and how the chemical bonds, the electrovalent bonds are formed. Formation of sodium chloride, NaCl. We know Na, this is the configuration, 23 is the mass number, 11 is the atomic number. So number of total electrons are 11. So K shell, L cell, M cell. K cell contains 2 electrons, L cell contains 8 electrons, whereas M shell contains 1 electron. So for Cl, 3517, 287. For K cell it is 2, for L 8, and for M 7. You can see one thing, that for sodium, last cell contains 1 electron. If sodium will lose this this electron, what will happen? L will be the last cell, last or outermost cell. So then their total 8 electrons are there. So we will get the octet configuration. Here, if chlorine will gain 1 electron, so what will be the configuration? 288 is a configuration of argon, similar configuration with argon, here the similar configuration with neon. So it will attain stability by satisfying octet. And that's why sodium is losing one electron, forming sodium plus cation. Cl is gaining one electron, forming Cl minus anion. Now one cation, that is sodium plus, and one anion, that is Cl minus, will combine together to form NaCl compound. We can explain it more clearly by taking the orbit structural diagram. See, here sodium, first cell contains 2 electrons, second cell 8 and last cell 1. For chlorine, first cell 2, second cell 8 and last cell 7. What is happening? Sodium is gaining 1 electron to chlorine, like that. So what will happen after gaining? The outermost cell of sodium will be total 8 electrons, and for chlorine also 8 electrons. So they will satisfy octet to attain the stability. Then they will combine together to form a compound NaCl. Now example 2, we can take the example of calcium oxide, CaO, calcium 4020, oxygen 1688. So for calcium, total number of electrons are 20. The configuration will be 2882, and for oxygen the configuration will be 26. You can see calcium has 2 electrons extra, whereas oxygen needs 2 electrons to satisfy the octet. So what will happen? Calcium will lose 2 electrons to form calcium 2 plus cation, and oxygen will gain 2 electrons to form oxide O2 minus anion. After that, calcium 2 plus and oxide 2 minus will combine together to form calcium oxide. Now for this, what will be the electrovalency? Number of electrons transferred, that is number of electrons donated or accepted. Here 2. Either we can say accepted electron or donated electron. So both are 2. So electrovalency will be 2. This is the orbital structure. Here you can see from the outermost cell of calcium, 2 electrons are transferring from calcium to chlorine. Here chlorine, we are getting total 8 electrons, and for calcium, last cell contains total 8 electrons. Thus they will combine together to form a compound calcium oxide. Next, you can practice the formation of magnesium chloride. The atomic numbers of magnesium and chlorine are given. You can practice magnesium oxide. Magnesium atomic number and oxygen atomic numbers are given. Now we will go for the second type of bond, that is known as covalent bonds. Covalent bonds are formed by sharing of electrons. Sharing of electrons means they will not transfer electron from one atom to another atom. Means there will be no gaining or no losing of electron. There will be sharing of electrons, and the covalency will be number of electrons shared. That will be its covalency. So have a look for an example, hydrogen. Hydrogen atomic number 1. So last or first cell contains 1 electron. So for this hydrogen we have 1 electron, and for this hydrogen we have 1 electron. So what will happen if these 2 electrons, both the hydrogen atom will give 2 electrons, and these 2, a pair of electron, will be equally shared by both hydrogen atoms to form a single covalent bond. You can see the picture. Simultaneously, these 2 electrons are equally used by 2 hydrogen atoms to form a single covalent bond to form a molecule, hydrogen molecule. So what will be the covalency for this hydrogen molecule? 1, because the number of shared electron will be 1. Now chlorine molecule, here chlorine molecule. For the chlorine molecule, the electronic configuration is 287. So last cell contains 7 electrons. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For this chlorine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If one electron will be given by 2 chlorine atom, and if they will share the pair of electron like this, so count for this chlorine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For this chlorine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they are equally shared. So chlorine will form a single bond, single covalent bond. 2 chlorine atoms will be attached to form a chlorine molecule. Now formation of a double covalent bond. In the case of oxygen, we can see oxygen needs 2 more electrons to satisfy the octet. So what will happen? Each oxygen will share 4 electrons. Each oxygen will give 2 electrons to make a set of 4 electrons, and these 4 electrons, that means 2 lone pairs, will be equally shared by two oxygen atoms. Here you can see oxygen, double bond oxygen. We know 2 electrons can form a single bond and 4 electrons can form a double bond. So these are the lone pair, 1, 2, 2. So 2 lone pairs of this oxygen and 2 lone pairs of this oxygen are remaining. This is known as double covalent bond. Formation of triple covalent bond. For the nitrogen we have atomic number 7, so total number of electrons will be 7. First cell 2 electrons, second cell 5 electrons. So what will happen? Nitrogen needs more 3 electrons. More 3 electrons to satisfy the octet. So each nitrogen will give 3 electrons and they will make a set of 6 electrons, and these 6 electrons will be equally shared by both the nitrogen to form a triple covalent bond. You can see total 6 electrons are forming one triple covalent bond. So one triple covalent bond will exist between 2 nitrogen atoms to form a nitrogen molecule, where in case of 2 nitrogen atoms we can see one lone pair of electrons are there. Formation of methane, CH4. Carbon contains 4 electrons in its outermost shell, hydrogen 1. So carbon will share its 4 electrons to 4 individual electrons of 4 hydrogen atoms to form 4 single covalent bonds. Formation of water molecule. Water molecule, here dot sign indicates the electrons of oxygen and cross sign indicates the electrons of hydrogen. So what will happen? Oxygen will share 2 electrons with 2 hydrogen atoms to form 2 single covalent bonds. The formation of ammonia. Nitrogen, total 7 electrons. Nitrogen will share its 3 electrons with 3 individual electrons of hydrogen atoms. So what will form 3 single covalent bonds, that is NH bond. 3 single covalent bonds will be formed during the formation of ammonia molecule. Now these were all for the chemical bonding. Next day we will discuss the question answers given. Thank you.